When I record podcasts, I like to stay hydrated. Who knew talking could be so hard? My favourite drink to have to hand is Lifeline's Hydro OG. It's a tried and tested product for me. It helped me and my team complete a 24-hour podcast, giving us the edge that we needed to get over the finish line. So whether you're at the gym, on a bike ride, or just trying to get over that night before, Lifeline's Hydro OG has got your back. Each serving is stocked with all the healthy ingredients and vitamins you could ask for. There are a great range of flavours, and with each serving at only 18 calories, you really can't go wrong. Here at the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast, we like to support local, independent companies and brands, and Lifelines is a product that I am proud to endorse. Go to lifelines.com. Now that's LYFELINEZ.com to find out more. Now, without further ado, here is today's episode. Hello guys and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley. Thank you so much for choosing the Shrewsbury Biscuit today. You made a great choice and we're going to get you through the next hour just chatting. And today I want to say a huge thank you to Verity Jane and to Lorenz Stokes as well from a podcast that we did as we come to it just last night. And as I'm recording now, what is that buzzing? Is that my phone? Ooh. Yes, it was my phone. There we go. Maybe you got that on the podcast when you didn't. My phone was doing some mad stuff. Yeah, that podcast was very, very positive, very good. I really enjoyed speaking to those ladies, absolute warriors, and they've inspired me. I think I put something on Facebook about sometimes you need reminding that what you do is important and what you do is good. And that was definitely one of those experiences because giving people a voice to talk about their passions and their lives is incredible. So thank you to those ladies. A really, really good experience. And today I'm switching out to something that's quite important to me. My wife is South American, and there are certain things about South American culture and British culture that are differing. And I've been over to Colombia and seen it, and it is completely different. And I've got somebody here to help me talk about it today and about, I think, one of the conduits, one of those things that we can use to bring people together, and that is food. So from Pueblo Artisan Foods, I've got Franco. Thank you so much for joining me today on the show.
No, thank you, Alec, for having me. It's a pleasure.
I bumped into your partner that you got a market stall, and it was in Shrewsbury on the market, and you're selling South American foods,
yes,
empanadas.
Yeah.
What foods do you tend to sell? I mean, in general.
Well, basically, yes. We try to be as truthful to our origins, which is South American, but basically Argentinian. So it's empanadas.
Yes.
Using all our traditional recipes from different regions in Argentina, basically. So yes, we try to stick with traditions.
Yeah. And that's really, really important, isn't it? Because, when it's not just you here, there is quite a large South American contingency in Shropshire, isn't there?
Yes, it's much more than I expected, actually. Yeah. I'm quite happy about it. Yeah.
So you've found out that food is really, really, really important. Because you're so far away from home, as are the community.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to whenever somebody goes over to Colombia and comes back, they always bring back goodies.
Yeah.
And one of those is we have your chocoramo, which is, I don't know if you get them in Argentina. It's a little, it's an orange packet. It's a little chocolate square cake. and you only get them. I think you can only get them in Colombia. And there's arepas, the
I like that one, and the coffee beans with the chocolate. I like.
Yeah. So there's certain things that you just can't get over here. And how do you fill that gap with certain like potatoes you can't get over here, or certain types of flour you can't get over here? How do you fill in those gaps?
Well, actually, it's an interesting thing because Becky, my partner, she's English, so we come up with the idea of doing something traditional, but using Shropshire ingredients.
Yeah, wow.
So we need to adapt. We need to do some changes, but also adapt. So try to be as traditional as we can, but adapting and trying to help local producers from the area.
That is really important. I have huge respect to anybody that does that. You know,
because in modern world, especially Shropshire, it's a lot of community sense in that respect that we enjoy. We realize, okay, this is good. This is a good place for doing this.
Yeah.
We found out there was a lot of connection, a lot of way of participating and helping each other, and so I think
you picked a perfect place for it. Shropshire is just like, it's got, we talk about it all the time. Oh, Shropshire is amazing, but it really is. It's kind of got everything you need.
Yeah.
Where's your partner from? Is she Shropshire based or?
No, she's from Essex actually.
Oh, really?
Manchester. Yeah.
So
it's a funny story what we're here about.
Well, we got time. We got time. What brings you to Shropshire?
Okay, you want to know? Actually, we're in lockdown in Argentina. I read a lot, so I needed a couple of books. So I bought a second-hand book about Darwin voyage through South America.
Wow.
And actually, Darwin spent quite a long time in Argentina. So I bought the book, right? And on the sleeve of the book say, born in Shrewsbury. So, all right, Shrewsbury. And we're supposed to go to Norwich, which is closer to Colchester. But then, for some reason or another, we couldn't go there. So, where are we going to go? We're planning to move to England. So, Shrewsbury, check the book, Shrewsbury.
No way.
So I start researching. Oh, this is quite nice because it's like nature. And then we start investigating. And then when we came to England, we went to Shrewsbury. I said, okay. So we just, because of the book that we're here, we never heard of Shrewsbury. She didn't never heard of Shrewsbury. So
that is fantastic.
Just for a book, yeah.
See, she's just from the back of a book. I've got a book here. It's a big shout out to Simon Bell. I got it last night. It's called "Remembering the Holocaust and the Impact of Societies Today," written by Simon Bell. And the reason why that is because episode 1, all those years ago on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, was with author Simon Bell, and we had a conversation about that topic. So yeah, I opened up a local community podcast about genocide. It was just like throw the dart. Do you know what I mean? But thank you, Simon, for getting stuck into a book. Can obviously have amazing consequences. You can find a new place to live, for example.
You know books. That's a whole thing about books open up.
When you first arrived to Shrewsbury, were you aware of Darwin around you? Were you kind of surprised by how much there is of him, or do you think there was like, well, where is Darwin? Like, there's no representation of him here. What was your reaction to it?
I think you hit the spot there. I was expecting being such a figure.
Yeah.
Not like British or world. It's not even British. It's worldwide figure.
Yeah.
I always said, well, this guy needs to be like there on the map, and I know they're doing things now.
Yeah.
The museum and the house. When I heard that, I said, well, that's good because it's huge.
Of course. We did say we were going to do some work with the house and get stuck in there. We will do it at some point, I think, because I think it's really important. You're right. There should be a heritage centre, and I think they've got plans there to do that and to sort of bring it back. But yeah, I always talk about Charles Darwin as like one of the Salopian sons of Shrewsbury, and it's true. I mean, I've got him on my wall behind you there. That's done by Gary Drew. Wonderful. It's one of my favourite things I've ever seen, and he gave me a copy of it, so I love it. So you end up in Shropshire. So what was first of all, what was the pandemic like in Argentina? Because I know we've got family in Colombia, I've got family in Ireland, we've got friends in America, and it's just different all over the world. Was it really strict there? Was it hard? Was it quite loose? I mean, what was it like?
The funny thing was strict from the beginning. They wanted to, all the news were coming from Italy, what was happening in Europe, and they wanted to be strict from the beginning, but they didn't know what was all about, I guess. So we were like very in a strict lockdown, without anything happening. We have like 2,000 cases. So it was funny because nobody had COVID, but we're all in lockdown. The good thing about it is that the weather in Argentina is sunnier. So even if you're in lockdown, you always have sun and you are in your garden. So it was autumn. So we have time outside. Was an asset.
That's good. That was quite important for a lot of people during that time, wasn't it?
Space outside, yeah. I was just after a couple of months was long. I guess anybody else was long, was never ending. And then came a lockdown in England, so it was a long one. We all suffer in different ways. So absolutely. I think it was
So how long have you been in Shropshire then?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And in those 2 years, you've developed Pueblo Artisan Foods. So like, you come here. Was the idea to come here and make food, or did that come after you moved here?
No. What's the idea?
That was the idea. Come here and make food.
Yeah.
And what was the reaction? Not like straight away when you started making things. Was there a good reaction? Was there lots of people coming to you, or did it take a bit of time to sort of develop?
Well, yes, actually, because when we started doing it, we were coming out of lockdown in England. So remember the first day we were in Ludlow, and we could only trade because we were selling food. That was a thing that you could sell.
Of course, yeah. Groceries, yeah.
Groceries. So, but was very few people on the streets.
Yeah.
So the first time, it's nobody on the streets. It's going to go all right. What's going to happen? But yeah, everybody was inside or nobody was going out. So the first couple of months were like funny or strange. But we got good reception from the beginning.
Yeah.
Then we start trading Shrewsbury, and we got a sense of, it's something different. And that's what we wanted to. That's our idea. We want to do something different. And we did a little research. There's nothing like that in Shrewsbury. It's not any image of South America, or at least Argentinian, or like this is what we do. This is with certain kind of logo or of image of the brand. And
we've had a lot of time to think about it. I mean,
we have a lot of time.
Sit there and just stare at these posters that you've made. Like.
That's what it's like.
Can you overplan for something though? I mean, I know I am definitely one who's over-organized, over-designed, and over-planned situations, and just. It's a teamwork. So I'm more like, okay, let's go for it. Becky is more like, no, let's plan, like you like over-plan. So it was a good balance in the end, but in my sense, on my behalf, I just want to do it, you know. Yeah.
When you're in lockdown, you can't do anything. Okay, just plan too much. Just go for it. But
there are companies. There are things that started. So we launched a brand new network. It was a network, a podcast network called USUK, US-UK. We had half a team in the UK and half a team in the US, and we trade content and talk about the differences, and it was fantastic. We had loads of different shows running at the same time, but we started in April 2020. So it was like, and that was the time when every guy and his dog and his wife's dog and everyone was just making a podcast. And so we got absolutely drowned, and it was this amazing idea that got absolutely just mullered by what had happened. I'd also bought a mobile studio to take to festivals, which didn't happen. It affected so many people. But like when you're starting, you haven't started yet, it must have. That's quite a unique thing, isn't it?
Well, it is. And what you say, when these kind of things happen the usual negative thing of you can't do something, right? Or not the way you wanted to do it. But you need to find ways to do it in a different way.
Adapt, yeah.
So when you need to adapt, you be more creative. So in a sense, could be a positive thing. Yeah. Could help you to say, okay, I need to do this way. Okay, what I come up with? What can I do to change? Because it's not as what used to be. So the whole thing is different now. So we had to do that. We have to adapt. We have to change the idea or change the business in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. And when things start picking up, from that first attempt at Ludlow, how is it? How do you adapt again? Because obviously the volumes of orders may rise, may drop, and you've got a plan. You know, we're in a difficult situation now where things are tight. You can't order in too many ingredients and lose money on that. Do you know what I mean? How do you work that?
Well, it took us like 6 months, 8 months to properly understand the business, not to have leftover or how much to order or how you save the food or how to be more efficient, if you want. Because it was also, we never train in markets.
Yeah.
That's the place we started from. So we need to understand the whole thing of the trade. It took us around 6 months. And then once you say, okay, this is more or less how we are planning to do it, how is the best way for us to do it, say, okay, it's like internally, so that's how we got it. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how much you say, how much you. So yeah, it was a good feeling when you say, okay, we
got this.
Yeah, we got this.
We got this. Yeah. I love what you're doing though, because I'm guilty of it, you know, just meeting my wife who's from Colombia, and we're going over there, and I was like, what's the food like in Colombia? People talk about Mexican food, they talk about Spanish food, Italian food, you know, American food, hot dogs and all that. But like when it comes to Argentinian, Chilean or Argentinian food, or they're the countries that just kind of don't get the representation, I feel, you know. And trust me, there's an amazing soup from. I appreciate this Colombia, and there's the Argentinian. And there's like a huge difference, but like ajiaco as a soup is amazing. And lechona, do you guys do lechona? It's
we do, but in a slightly different way. I see the Colombian way is different. Yeah.
Lechona, what they do is they get the pig and they put the rice and all the beans and all these things in the pig, and they do like a luau. They cook the pig, and then they break the pig open, and you put this pork and the rice and the beans and stuff together, and it's really, really nice. How do you guys do it differently?
We use more beef.
Use beef.
We really like beef, man. Yeah.
That sounds really good though.
Yeah,
actually.
well, though Argentina food is basically known for steaks and wine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to London, it's Argentine food, or Birmingham, I have steakhouses. That's what we export the most.
Wow.
Actually, it's something I really miss, to be honest. But the steak. But the thing that we speak about massive countries. My country, Argentina, is very big, so that means that you have very different landscape. Each landscape produces different things.
Of course, yeah.
So if you go to the north, it's more arid, it's more like dry heat, very warm during the day, very cold during the night. So they consume a lot of corn. It's very indigenous traditions.
Yeah.
So the first habitants of the land were the Spanish, were indigenous. So all the recipes come from them. So we want to show that. If you go to central Argentina, it's more like beef, it's more, it's more
cattle farms.
Exactly, it's like Shropshire kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what they eat is different from the north. So in our empanadas, in the case, we try to show all the different regions and what they used to harvest and what they still harvest there. So all the food have a connection from the people and the land. So in that sense, if we want to represent the people from the indigenous background, like northern Argentina, Bolivia, or in Peru, we need to use certain ingredients. And we want to be truthful to that.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's basically what, in our case, empanadas is varied a lot because in such a big country, you have very different ways of using fillings, for example. The fillings are very different. So that's what is the richness of the food, I guess.
And South American food is just so good. You got to remember, folks, that you're listening to this. South America is responsible for some of the key ingredients that we use in food today. we were in Bruges a few years ago. Timmy was a baby, and we went to a potato museum. I was like, oh my god, this is going to be hilarious about potatoes. But I learned so much about potatoes and how, potatoes are South American, and they mutilated and changed they formed potatoes into what they are today. Chocolate Chocolate's a very important South American ingredient, and coffee. There's lots of really important things that come from South America. And empanadas, by the way, are just amazing.
But it's very important that what you say about let's say potato or Peruvians. Yeah, you used to have like 150 different types of potatoes.
Yes.
But then they came to Europe, right? And the UK, you consume a lot of potato, a lot of chips, and so that's the important thing of not only of what each country or region produce, is then the connection of it. So if a connection of cultures is gonna change, it's gonna produce something different, and most important, the connection. So if we do something here, for Argentinian or South American recipes in England, in Britain, so it's gonna come up with something different. It's going to change, and this is happened a lot in England.
Yeah.
So that for me is the most important thing, because try to be short here, but like empanada is a mix of indigenous people and Spanish when they came after the conquest.
Oh wow!
So that mix of culture, very opposite cultures, create a food identity by mixing the indigenous tradition and the Spanish traditions. So that's how important
it is. That important?
The connection between people and cultures. So that
Wow.
food is a huge manifestation.
So it goes back that far.
Yeah, like 5-6 centuries. Yeah.
Amazing. And if you listen to this, wondering what an empanada is, think of like a very small, softer Cornish pasty, but with it's a different kind of flour, sort of corn. Imagine corn made for flour.
It's corn. It's a different olive oils.
Yeah.
Again, if you do like a beef empanada, you're gonna use a little bit more unhealthy. But yes, it can be from. We have one is from the Patagonia, which is with spinach, mushrooms, and you have more. Like beef or chicken empanada using like rosemary or cherry tomatoes. So yes, it's varied.
I do wonder about Patagonia, because I watch Bear Grylls, right? I've seen him out there, and he's like, "Oh, this is the windiest desert in the world. There's nothing out here. You can't survive out here." And I'm thinking, people must survive in Patagonia. Surely they must have adapted.
It's very big. So you have one side that is very like green and mountains and lakes, and the other side is like more like a frozen desert. But it's not like Siberia or something like that.
No.
It's not that extreme. But
and that's how interesting Argentina is, because you've got like hot, warm climate up the north, and then like this freezing cold desert at the bottom. It's just an interesting thing to learn, and this is why I love learning about culture. I'm getting really excited talking about it. And we went to in La Calera in Colombia. So it's drive out into the mountains, and they have these. I've got pictures somewhere. Oh, I wish I could find. And they're like meat shacks. That sounds really bad, but like it's just a barbecue in the middle of nowhere, and they make like local meat, and they make these potatoes that you can only get in Colombia, and they'll make you chorizo, and you sit on wooden logs, and you're sitting in the mountains eating local food from these like meat shack things, and it was just amazing, just all about the food and the area around you. Do you have similar experiences in Argentina?
yes, that's
Very rustic.
It's like in the Pampas, which is like very flat. Agriculture, I guess. So you have like a barbecue, you have like a stick, like an iron one. So you put the whole chest of the cow.
Yeah.
And And you cook it with smoke, with the it can be with wood or coal, like for 4 or 5 hours.
But like, what did you follow the Shropshire lad, by the way, on Instagram?
Yeah.
He has something similar, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So you cook it like for 5-6 hours, and that makes the meat is like the tender you ever taste. So
you're making me hungry now.
So you're in the outdoors, you're at the never-ending fields, and and you can do that in the Patagonia that you mentioned. They do the same with lamb, so you're on the mountains with fire, with logs, and so it's more outdoor kind of thing. Yeah.
I wonder if there's any. I can't think of a British equivalent of that here. We don't out in the mountains.
I don't think the weather's gonna.
No, we've got the chippy. Go to the fish and chip shop. What are your experiences with British food, British cuisine? Do you like British cuisine? Did your partner introduce you to some British food?
Yeah. I do like British food. I have well, it's a hard subject. I know.
No, because I like. Okay, so the reason why I bring this up is I think as much as I love British food because it's what I've grown up in.
Yeah.
And people may slander this. I might lose some listeners, but I think British food is bland. It's like bangers and mash and gravy, pie and chips, or whereas you go to somewhere like Italy where they're mixing the herbs and the spices. You go to India, they make these amazing curries and these amazing meats, and there is so much more going on around the world.
I'm saying similar to you. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I understand because the weather is different, so it's cold, so you need like very rich and
warm.
So I like that. It is a little bit more unhealthy if you are into that.
Yeah.
But it's not as varied as other food. Yeah.
I got a big shout out to Tom Bruno, my ex co-host. We're on a hiatus. I think we can still do some stuff together, but he's in Vermont, near the Canadian border. And I'd be like, so we're having Yorkshire puddings. And he'd be like, what's a Yorkshire? No, he's very good, but he was kind of like, Yorkshire puddings? And so he has a go at making Yorkshire puddings. He made massive one for the whole family.
Right.
And he said he never made them before, and he ate them and he loved them. So sometimes it wins. I don't know. But I think food is just so important for bringing people together around the table to talk.
But it's one thing that I like from here.
Oh, right.
Of the British food culture. They are very, very open to different things.
Yeah.
I live in different places. It's not very usual. Like Italy will never have as much variety or incorporate as many things as Britain, because they're very proud of their food. I guess the French as well. But British, they like to incorporate different things. So when I speak with people, we try. So maybe the British food is not as varied as other ones, but by incorporating or like being open to different cuisines, they make the British food open. Like the curry thing, that the curry now is like more British adapted.
Yeah,
so that's
tikka masala is British dish made in Indian restaurants because they came over here and it was more palatable for British consumers. So they made like a chicken tikka masala. Here you go, there's something nice. And a chicken tikka masala is amazing, by the way, but so is a boona. So there are great examples of that. And you know what? Like what threw my mind is literally just across the channel in Belgium.
Yeah.
They're eating large quantities of chips as well, but they're dolloping like. I call it pink sauce, mayonnaise and ketchup. They have loads of different sauces, but they have a huge tray of chips and they dollop loads of sauce of it. And it's literally just across the channel. They're doing that the same, and I didn't know about that. Do you know what I mean? That's like I'll talk about olive branches before we start recording. That's an olive branch in Belgium and maybe in France because there's a very close connection and culture there. They're doing the same things as us. Yeah. How do you? You know?
You never know, yeah.
It's an interesting concept. So Pueblo Artisan Foods. Where do you take the market? Because I know you travel quite a bit, don't you?
Yes. I'll go from the beginning, because when we wanted to do Pueblo, one of the things that personally I wanted to do is, what I like the most about England is the countryside. So if we do something like this, is we like to come up with the business but we could travel,
Yeah.
So by doing Pueblo allow us to go to Chester Market, or we go to Matchwanlock, or we go to Hay. So we're always
to meet different locals from different areas.
Yeah. So I really enjoy doing that. We trade from Cheshire, Liverpool to Wales to Hertfordshire. So that makes our day very different every week, because we go one place to another. Very nice country roads to travel. So I personally really enjoy that we always go into different places.
And you're learning about the culture here and the country and the people while they're learning about you. It's symbiotic.
It's true. I feel now that I get it now. I get, after like being all these different countries and hearing different dialects, and for me it's amazing that.
Yeah, because it's weird, isn't it, that like literally, I don't know, like 30, 40 miles in that direction, the accents and the way people change, the acts completely changes. Do you know what I mean?
I can say that it's hard for me sometimes, with some accents. Well, someone like the other day, this guy from Dudley.
Dudley, all right.
Oh, I couldn't understand a word. but it sometimes happens. But I'm getting there.
When a big shout out to Carlos, my wife's uncle. When he comes over from Colombia, he can't stand talking to me because he's always like slow, down. And I always thought he speaks quick because the Spanish sounds quick, doesn't it? When he's speaking.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't understand you, and I'm like, what? Sorry. So yeah, I always find that interesting, you know, because I've worked with people from all around the world, and like people in America, they obviously there's different accents, but not as concentrated as the UK.
Yeah, here it's amazing. Yeah, like as you say, like I don't know, like 10 miles away, so different thing. So yeah, it makes fun. I like it. Yeah.
Where are your favorite places to market then? You know, the places you really look forward to going back.
The one I prefer the most, to be honest, is Shrewsbury because it's very close to home. So,
Or in Shrewsbury?
Yeah.
It's there. Oh, yeah.
It's like 5 minutes drive. But no, I do like Shrewsbury. I do like depending on the day, actually. I like going to Hen Wise, a long drive, but I like the atmosphere there. I like, I don't know, it's changed a lot because I know we went to, I think it was like September, October, to a little festival, like organic festival in the middle of the mountain in Wales, and like very like low key, like one of the guys from a farm organized it, and all local produce. I really enjoyed that one. We need like to go through woodland, and so it changed a lot. Yeah, it changed a lot.
Some people, was that the trees one? 1,000 Trees?
No, we did that one.
You did that
was
one?
Cool. That was really cool too. Yeah.
I see. I'm exploring festivals a lot because we have been doing a lot of local festivals with. Big shout out to Beth Heath and the guys from Shropshire Festivals. They do an amazing job with the food festival. You should do the food festival in Shrewsbury. That would be wonderful.
We wanted to do that one. We got scared in the end because it's huge, but I'm gonna do it next year for sure. Yeah.
We've done local things, but I want to branch out sort of things in Shropshire. We were talking with Ludlow about the Ludlow Fringe. We couldn't get there because it was so far. But we did a bit of a spot for them. But I want to do like festivals of different sizes because some people like you said, the low key sort of quiet festivals. Some people really like them. Some people like the massive things like Festival, you know, or V Festival. So I'd like to document some of these things.
Well, that'd be a great idea. We've been doing quite a lot on diverse this year. We did like the Soul Medicine one in Chester, and we did the Ludlow Food Festival. We did the I don't know, the spice pepper, and so it is a lot of variety and a lot of offers. So it's different crowds as well, depending on what you want. So I think it's a massive thing. Or it's getting massive here, and for all tastes.
And I got to tell you as well, from experience, literally very recently, over the last few weeks, people come from all over the place to taste the food from their country, right? Yeah. We went to Liverpool. We took the family to my wife's nan, her mum, her auntie. We all went to stay in a hotel, and her uncle Pete. Shout out to Pete. We went to the hotel, and they found someone local to Liverpool that made Colombian food, and they brought it to the hotel. Yeah. And that food was amazing. But the fact that they went to Liverpool and they were like, oh, there's somebody in Liverpool, we're going to order some Colombian food. They took the opportunity and they made the most of it. Yeah. When it comes to selecting your menu and things that you know people are going to want, what were the natural choices and what kind of variation of foods do you offer?
Well, we try to do like a seasonal thing. So a seasonal menu, depending on what is on season. Mm-hmm. So that the product is better, let's say that.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
If you can get strawberries in the winter, then they're going to be like tiny little things in blankets.
No, exactly. So in summer, you don't want to eat certain kind of thing, or people prefer other type of food. So we have like a seasonal menu. I'm always trying to be according to what we do, right? But it changes between winter and summer menu. Yeah.
And what were you making? Was it just empanadas, or were there different things that you brought into the menu that have been a success? Is there something that took you by surprise that was kind of like, oh, I didn't realize this was going to be so successful? Or
yes, like for example, we do this kind of. It's a sauce. It's called chimichurri. That in Argentina we use for beef.
Yeah.
So it's like traditional sauce like parsley, garlic, oregano, olive oil. So we adapt that to the empanada. So people are really into that, having the little pot of sauce. So they have the empanada and they have the sauce. We're also doing some like sweet stuff, like alfajores with a traditional sweet from Argentina. So yes, and also we have all the name of the empanada in Spanish. So I like to say, I want a chimichurri. So they like to say the name in Spanish. So yes, we have different like sweet stuff and sauces. So we have like a little combo there. Yeah.
So is this like a signature sauce? Is this like a traditional sauce, or is it something you've put a twist on to make it your own?
We always try to put a twist. Yeah, it's more fun. Yeah, it's more fun.
Because then you can be like, you don't get this sauce anywhere else. You know?
Yeah, I'm proud of that. The only way they do it is here. Yeah, we do some things.
I remember I was at a family get together. I'm sorry, I keep comparing Colombia to Argentina. I'm not. This is just my South American experience. Please. But we were having empanadas, and it was a house party, very nice party, and my wife's cousin, Jimena, she's amazing, but she's absolutely bonkers. And she comes up to me, she's like, "You need to try this sauce." I was reading, she pours this sauce onto the thing, and I scoop up this sauce. I put the empanada in my mouth, and I nearly die. This sauce is like the hottest thing I've ever. I've got the hottest chili sauce literally in the world in my cupboard right now. Right, that was fine. This blew my face off. South Americans like their spices, don't they?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, in Argentinian food, or it's not that spicy. So that's something that we needed to adapt. We need to have British people like a kick.
Yeah.
So on certain recipes, we needed to give them that kick.
Yeah.
So that's something that we incorporate a little bit. Yeah.
This is something I've learned recently, is that I always stayed away from hot foods, right? Spicy foods. I don't know what it was. I didn't see the appeal of burning your face to bits whilst enjoying food. However, we did a hot wing quiz. We've done 2. We need to do a 3rd one, really, because America won the first one, and then the UK did we won the second one. But we did a hot wing quiz. Right? We got someone to bring us questions, and we had Team America and Team UK doing it at the same time. Yeah. And we had 12 wings that were all going up in spiciness, right, of Scoville units. Yeah. And I realised I like spicy food. I like it, seriously. So I'm trying new foods. So I might be inclined to try some of your sauce just to see how I feel, you know. Yeah. So you have to give me a shot.
I didn't bring anything to the actual show.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You were at the market quite a bit. Yeah. And now I know you're in Shrewsbury. I can come knocking around. Where's that sauce? Give me some of that sauce.
Don't worry, it'll be on me. Yeah.
Is there something that you've tried to sort of bring to the British consumer that they just won't take? That you can't seem to.
To be fair, no, not really. They're really what's part of the gamble. Like as I was speaking in the beginning, to bring something that's not. It's not in Shropshire in this area, and they're really open to it. They like to try different things. There's no recipes, no food that we say nobody's eating this, and which is great. Yeah.
What about fusion? Is there something you can fuse Colombian food with? I mean, I know fusion is quite popular in some restaurants and some food places, but
we try that, like especially with Colombian food, like arepas, for example, because a lot of people is gluten free. So by having like corn flour, you allow that to happen. But in our case, we really like arepas, and it's still empanadas, and it's a manifestation of South America, but it's fried. So it's a whole different process to fry it.
Yeah, it's not.
And it's not the same taste if you don't like fry it right away.
Yeah.
And it's complex to fry it on a market stall. It's
a bit like egg, isn't it? You know, you can put egg in a cake. You can do a million things with egg. With this corn flour, it's not corn flour, it's flour. It's corn that's turned into flour.
Yeah. That's my on my list. I want, that's something
which is a shock, right? Because the way I explain, my wife, I'll be sat here, I'll whip open my laptop, she'll be like, arepas? And I'll be like, yes, I love arepas with a bit of cheese, a bit of salt, amazing, right? She has it with jam. She has it like because I know this is the thing as well. Palettes. I'll come on to that in a second. But And I love arepas. And I compare it almost. People may be like, "What are you doing?" I almost compare it to a crumpet. And this is going to sound weird. British crumpets or English muffins, if you want to call it that in America, they have a similar kind of texture. They don't taste the same, but they kind of feel the same. And you can do anything with arepas. You can have it sweet, you can have it savory, you can have it big, small, they're a bit like pancake shaped.
Yeah, that's the good thing of the arepas and the empanadas in particular, that there was food a working class used to make, so you can adapt. It's very adaptable. You can do whatever you want. It's like empanada, the meaning in Spanish is between two breads. That's what it means in Spanish. Then the meaning keeps changing in the sense that what you put into that two bread. But so you can do whatever you want, any type of dough. You can do with a spinach pastry. You can do a pumpkin pastry. So you can do whatever you want depending of
and
customer.
One thing I'll always say is I'll always try something once. I'll always try it with food. I don't do egg and I don't do fish. That's it. They're the main things I don't like. But they had there's a few things that I just like. I tried it, and one is and this is Colombia, of course. I'm sorry, but putting cheese inside hot chocolate. I don't know if you guys do that in Argentina. No, thank God, right? Because I'm sure people in Colombia love that. I was just like, cheese. My wife's probably listening to this and I think I'm going to slap him at the back of the head. The other one was they had this meat and vegetables, and it's got arepas as well in it, and it's cooked with banana leaves. I think it's steamed, and then you open it, and it was just what's it called? Tamal.
Tamal, yeah, I love tamal. Yeah,
tamal.
Yeah.
There you go. See,
yeah.
This is my ignorance. This thing in banana leaves.
No, but I remember being in Brazil when I was younger and have like a dessert pizza, which is like a pizza dough with ice cream. I was there, well, why am I going to put ice cream on a pizza dough? And they used to love that. Instead of having just plain ice cream, they have it with like pastry. For me, it was very strange, like a pizza dough. But yeah, they love it there. So it's just,
It really does interest me. And the reason why I bring that up is not to be like, oh my God, they do these terrible things in Colombia, but there are different taste palettes. There are different taste that you guys in South America are so much more used to different things than what we are. I remember, I don't know if this is a South American thing or just a culinary thing, but my mother-in-law put strawberries in a salad. And I was like, strawberries? And so you're going to put a very sweet fruit in with a savory salad with feta cheese, and it turned out it was amazing. Yeah. Mixing sweet with savory is just my egg exploded.
Well, that's amazing, because I think food, like anything in life, is about trying different things. You can't,
of course,
without even creating new things. That's the beauty of it. So it just open up your minds, and if you try, if you vary a thing, at least no, I don't like that, but I do like that, and you can grow in certain sense by experiencing different things.
Yes, especially with food and getting together. I'd love to, invite you guys around and we can have some South American food or something.
Yeah,
that would be really nice.
With the music, everything.
Yeah, that'd be really good. You bring some things, we'll cook some things. That'd be really, really nice. Because I want to do that. I want to find, sort of friends from around the world to experience different food experience. I went to a big shout out to, big shout out. Was this the radio? But my friend Raj from years ago, he's from India, and he invited me and my wife round to have curry with him and his friends. And I've got to tell you, this curry was the hottest thing in the planet. It was so spicy, but it was wonderful at the same time. It tasted amazing. And he was like, don't be shocked to see us eating with our hands, because we don't use knives and forks in India. And I was like, okay, so they were scooping up food with the hands and eating it. I thought, that's how they eat. That's just normal. Indian food is meant to be eaten with your hands. Okay. That's why they do papadums and naan brentas and stuff. And so I joined in, and it was just an amazing experience. And again, that's just a culture thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I think Africa, they do the same. It's it's always a first reaction, like, well, it's like a little bit of shock, but then you think, okay, they do it like that. Cool, yeah. It's a whole different way.
Yeah, palates and culture changes with food. It's fantastic. What's the goal with Pueblo then? Are you happy doing the market thing, or is there a goal to maybe open up a restaurant or something eventually?
Well, there are different goals. For us, when you have like, we have like a plan, but we're always open to what can happen.
Changing change.
So
Flip the script.
Yeah, like, because life is like that, and you can say, I want to do that, but then stuff happen, and change. We're really happy with the markets, but what we want to incorporate is more, because it's Pueblo Artisan Food and arts and craft, which means that we wanted to, in a way, incorporate not only the food, but the creative manifestation of the people in Argentina and South America, which means working with their craft. So that's something that we really like to incorporate, bringing things from indigenous people or from what we call pueblos originarios, which
is handcrafted, made by people.
Yeah,
not a machine.
From the indigenous, the tribe with their name, like ancestral things.
Yes.
So imagine like a bowl that was the type of bowl that was used 5 centuries ago to eat this kind of food.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to incorporate, the food and the craft manifestation. That's something I really like, because nobody knows about that here. Nobody knows what kind of patterns they use, which is all connected with the food as well. So the artsy scene of Argentina, South America, is something that we want to show as well. That's our close goal. Yeah. Then restaurant, I don't see myself in a restaurant. I like the market as well, but could be a place with
yeah. I mean, like there are certain places that just become an absolute hit, aren't they? Empanadas are just a very practical food, aren't they? Because you can just take them as you go.
Yeah.
You can dip them in sauce. You can put them in a salad. You can do all sorts with them. I can imagine you guys on Pride Hill, Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
Gonna grab some empanadas on the way to work.
Yeah.
On the way to school.
It's an idea. It's an idea. We also like in Shrewsbury to work with different places. That's what we are in talks now to do something in common with other places, like intervene a place which is not only the food, with a food experience with the music, with audio, with visuals. That's something that we're working on it to.
Oh, I'd love to help with that.
Yeah, that's we're planning for next year to do that. And I don't know. Last year we went to Shrewsbury School. We did like a presentation in Spanish with the food with all the kids. We do that kind of things. We do that kind of things that we aside of. It's part of the business, but more like a social thing.
Well, you're in the land of collaboration. I was just listening back to mine and Alexander Westwood's trip on the Sabrina boat. We did the ghost tour, and we was talking to a member of the staff in there. And we was talking about collaborating with different companies. They work with Glue Glue, who give them wine, and then they can tell people about Glue Glue, and then they'll go buy the wine from Glue Glue. It kind of, these collaborations do happen. I think you'd work really well with Adam Pennell, the Shropshire lad, because he likes his beef and his meat, and he loves learning about new ways of cooking, and he does these like showcases where he cooks with people.
Okay.
Imagine an Argentinian spin on that.
Oh, I would love to try his steak, to be honest. I follow him on Instagram.
His food's just dirty, isn't it?
Yeah,
great. It's greasy, dirty food. And it's fantastic. A big shout out to him. I know he's been very, very busy lately. He's done a bit too much. We've got a lot in common with that. I'm going to do this, and then crash. Have you got to do that? Because I know a creative mind, cooking, making these things. Have you got to watch that you don't burn yourself out because you're working too hard?
Well, it happened. It always happens when you're in the kitchen. Sometimes like you've been doing it for so long, so you know how to do it, but that doesn't mean that you need to be careful.
Yes, of course. You don't just go on auto drive.
If you're like cutting an onion, you can't be like. No, you need to
finger.
You need to look out. But it happens, like a couple open burns and kind of things. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than being in the kitchen with a chef and they hand you something hot. And you're like, oh, and they're like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You get used to it, don't you?
You get used to fame. Yeah.
I think what you do is fantastic, because you are bringing culture and a different, like I said, I've never heard of Argentinian food or even Colombian food being sold in Shrewsbury, to be honest. So I'm really glad that you're bringing that.
Thank you.
I'm an honorary Colombian. I got to say, I've been there a few times. They know who I am, you know. And South America is a different culture. We were talking about. Did you have a culture shock when you first came here? When you witnessed like British families and how they sort of interact with each other?
Yes. It wasn't a shock because my wife is English, so
She kind of prepared you for that. She was like, when you,
yeah, but it was different. Like the way, speaking about food, for example, the way you eat. You have dinner at the table. For us in Argentina, we stay till midnight sometimes. Like after dinner is very long.
So you sit and have a glass of wine and a talk, and
so you chat and just speaking, and so it's very long. The process of eating, you take it seriously. You sit down, you have a proper meal. It's not like you have a sandwich and you go. So when I came to England, I was with my in-laws. It's very normal in having lunch as a sandwich, a cup of tea, and then every time in Argentina have lunch, you sit down with a plate and you chat. Everything is longer.
Yeah.
It takes you just take your time for everything, and I don't know. I guess in a way the social aspect is
very important.
It's more. I feel it's much more interaction in a way.
Yeah.
That was different.
I think that's a massive understatement in the way that I say to people, like everything's, when it comes to interaction across the family, from what I've experienced, you know, maybe other people have experienced different things, but it's just slower. It's just nicer. And, you know, there's one of the examples I give is we went to my wife's nan's birthday party, right? And there's loads of people there and we had to go, and we couldn't just go, right, see you later, guys. Thank you for inviting us. We had to say goodbye to everybody individually. I think I kissed like 60 women on the cheek. It was just nuts. Like, you can't just do that. And I like that. I like that you take a bit of time just to, like I said, the social aspect.
Well, you mentioned something like the kiss on the cheek is something that we always kiss, like much more like hugging and touching. You know?
Yeah.
So that's different as well. Yeah.
So if you're an introvert, that's just a nightmare for you. Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
It's not your place to be now.
No. And when are you guys looking for? Are you going back at any time, Argentina? Are you going to go back and see your family? Have you been back? I mean, how often does that happen?
Yeah, we've been in February, March. The idea is like to come back hopefully next year. Again, this seems like we're working, because the idea is to connect, like being in England and working also in connection with Argentina.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to work with these groups. There are cooperatives.
Yeah.
So we want to
get some inspiration and learn some new techniques.
And also give them a hand as well. It's like when you work in connection or cooperative with someone, like you help each other. So if I work with local producer in Shropshire or with indigenous in Argentina, it's like a chain. We all help each other. Yeah, I buy from you, your craft, I sell it, all reasonable. We all good networking, and then with Shropshire. So yeah, we have to go to Argentina to establish connection with them. So that's something that at least once a year we try to do. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, this is something good, and I really do like it. And what have been the biggest? I think I haven't asked this yet. What have been the biggest challenges for you two for doing this? I mean, has there been a hurdle that you found really difficult to get over since starting the business?
Think about it. Well, I guess a certain. The economy nowadays, like Britain is.
I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah.
No, but I mean, in a way that British people's not used to inflation.
Yeah.
Where are used to in South America?
Like huge jumps in inflation.
Yeah, you have like 10 good years and the 3 or 4 not that good. So we are used to inflation and not to handle that inflation, and the customer knows that.
Yeah.
But what I don't know that much, but what I've been seeing is that people are not used to that, so their consumer habits are different, and they can be more scared about that. So it's also I think that the people are. You need to adapt. What you're gonna your costs, what you're gonna charge for that to be.
To keep up.
Yeah, and be fair as well for them and for you. So yeah, that's something that it's not a massive issue, but yeah, we or at least I am not used to try to learn about it.
And in the last 2 years, things have changed an awful lot, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
You know, things are switching, changing all the time. I hope things get a lot easier because, you know, I know there are people struggling out there. You know, there are going to be, you know, companies that will just be obliterated by these changes in the economy. So, you know, I just hope things do get a bit easier for people because it is difficult. But the fact that you're looking to adapt and you're looking to change those things shows that you've got a fighting spirit. So
no, for sure, yes.
Yeah.
When you are from South America, you grew up with a fighting spirit.
yeah,
So yeah, you need to always like go to the street to fight or to say. It's always something happening. So you need to.
that's what. There's a lot of passion there, so especially politically.
Yeah. A lot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, in South America, an awful lot. What is your favourite thing about Shropshire at the moment? Like, because away from the business, you've now got to create your own hobbies, your own friendships, and you got to go and do your own things. When you're not thinking about food and the business, what do you like to go and do in Shropshire? What do you enjoy?
Well, the thing we like the most as a couple, include my wife because we tend to do that a lot. Is like we like the landscape. We really like the landscape. We something I enjoy the most is like a good Shropshire summer, and even though it rains a lot, it's very green.
Yes.
So because it rains a lot, it's that green that every time I just think if it's a little bit sunny, I go out and it's just amazing to be in it, you know, like walking, and that's something really.
We're very lucky because we got the Reebrook just by here, which is really nice. The rivers and the summer walks and stuff, which is just a small little piece of Shropshire. It's very small, but just to show that even in that small bit of green there, you can really just spend a day there just chilling. But then you got all these amazing walks around Shropshire, you know. It really is wonderful.
No, and that is I know I'm lucky to be here because you have a lot of. You are surrounded by nature, and it's not very, very common.
Yeah,
so it's
nice. Well, you know, thank you so much for coming to chat to me today. It has actually been really nice chatting to you about this because
likewise.
I've been trying to bring a South American connection to the show for a while. People are rolling their eyes now. Stop it, right? I know you listen to the show, but like, it is important to me because it's important to my wife. You know, we do this thing together, and I really do appreciate that. Can you tell people, can you do online orders and things like that, or is it just face-to-face?
No, it's online orders. The web page is, I'm going to do a little advertisement here.
Please do. Yeah, that's why I brought you.
It's Pueblo Artisan Food and Arts. You can follow us on Instagram, or that's our web page as well. Otherwise, just send a message or email if you want to. All the South Americans up there in Shrewsbury, or anybody that have Shrewsbury want to do and get together and do something. We're always up to new ideas and new connections. So
well, we've got the South American family here.
There you go.
Yeah, so we'll I'm sure we can organise something. That'd be really nice, especially in the summer when things get nicer again. I know we're just entering winter now, but we can definitely do that.
Well, I would love to. That's something that we always hear on the streets, on the markets, people from all over the place, and say, could do something on dancing, you know, with empanadas. Yeah, we're always up for that.
If you're listening to this and you've never tried an empanada before, please try that. They're wonderful. They really are. They're our favourite. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been really nice.
Alex, thanks for having me here. It was a pleasure.
No, it's really good. Thank you guys for tuning in. Things are changing very quickly over here at the Shrewsbury Biscuit. You know, we've got a huge increase in listenership. So I'm trying to bring in things that can help our infrastructure. This is a CIC. It's a non-for-profit company. I'm not in it to make the money. I'm in it because I love doing what I do and promoting this fine town. But we are going to start bringing advertisements into the show. Just very subtle reminders of the great, independent artists, maybe business owners. But you know, a lot of podcasters. If you listen to podcasts, they'll be like they'll do like MeUndies, or Manscaped is the new one now, or these crazy companies that are just big, huge conglomerates, and we're not interested in that. We want to advertise local grassroots companies, businesses, events, charities, anything that you want to do. There is I put together a presentation with 3 tiers of advertising. It's cheap. Our lowest tier is actually £25 an episode, which is really, really cheap. So if you want to get involved with the Shrewsbury Biscuit, please get in touch. Every single penny goes back into the show to recharge our equipment, or to we're looking for I want a studio in town. I'd love to have a studio in town. How amazing would that be? Biscuit Studios, so we're always looking to build the show. So if you want to get involved, please get in touch. Franco, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you guys next time on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Thank you for tuning in. Press the wrong button. That's really. I'm going to press the right one. I'm going to leave that in because that's hilarious. I've got like 9 buttons here with sound effects, and my finger slipped. So here we go. Peace out, guys.